Have you ever stopped to wonder what really makes a big city tick? I mean, why it feels like so much more than just a giant collection of people and buildings. Well, it turns out there's a kind of hidden mathematical code running in the background, a code that shapes how our cities live, breathe, and grow.
So let's really dig into this question. Why does a city of, say, 10 million people feel so fundamentally different, so much more energetic and innovative than a town that's just a tenth of that size? It's a question that gets right to the very heart of what a city even is.
And here's the secret. It's not just about having more people. The real magic happens in the explosive growth of connections between those people. As cities get bigger, something in their social DNA fundamentally changes.
And you know what's wild? This whole process isn't random chaos. It actually follows a predictable pattern. And scientists have a name for this hidden rulebook. They call them urban scaling laws.
Think of it like this. These are basically the laws of physics, but for cities. They describe with, honestly, stunning accuracy how everything from wealth and innovation to crime and infrastructure changes as a city's population goes up or down.
Okay, so this whole idea breaks down into two key concepts. On one side, you've got what's called superlinear scaling. This is for all the stuff that grows faster than the population. You double a city's size, and you get more than double the GDP, more than double the patents, and way more social interactions. It's that amazing more than the sum of its parts effect. Then, on the other side, you have sublinear scaling. This is all about efficiency. As cities grow, they actually need proportionally less stuff per person. Fewer gas stations, less roadway. They get really good at creating economies of scale.
So that's the theory. It sounds good, right? But does it actually hold up in the real world, especially in a place as huge and diverse as Brazil? Well, to find out, a team of researchers decided to put it to the test.
And to do that, they got their hands on a data set that is just staggering. Over a single month, they analyzed 3.1 billion.
Yep, anonymized mobile phone records. This gave them this incredible, unprecedented window into the daily pulse of the 100 biggest cities in Brazil.
And their method was really clever. From all this call data, they can measure two really important things. First, by looking at who called whom, they can map out the number of unique social connections people had. And second, by tracking when a person's phone made calls from different cell towers, they could get a really good idea of how many physical trips people were making. It's just a brilliant way to see both our digital and physical lives at an enormous scale.
So, what did this mountain of data actually show them? Well, the first huge finding totally backs up the core of the theory. As cities grow, our social worlds just explode.
I mean, just look at these graphs. It doesn't matter if you're looking at phone contacts or physical trips, the trend is undeniable. Those lines are sloping upwards way more steeply than you'd expect. That is superlinear scaling in action, right there in the wild. The bigger the city, the more connected and the more mobile its citizens are on a per-person basis.
But what does that really mean for us? Let's make it real. Let's say you move from your town to a city that's 10 times larger. According to this data, you would, on average, have between 50 and 55% more phone contacts. Your social network isn't just a little bigger, it's fundamentally denser.
But here's where things got weird. The data also threw up this strange little mystery, a puzzle that seemed to completely break the rules of efficiency we were just talking about.
So remember, infrastructure is supposed to get more efficient with size. That's sublinear scaling. But look at this. Panel B here shows that the number of cell phone antennas actually grew faster than the population. It was scaling superlinearly.
Wait a minute. More antennas per person in bigger cities? That seems completely backwards, right? It's the total opposite of an economy of scale. It just looks inefficient. So what on earth was going on here?
Well, the answer turned out to be redefining what population even means in a 21st century city. The researchers had this brilliant insight. Maybe they shouldn't be counting people, they should be counting active devices. See, in bigger, richer cities, people tend to have more devices, multiple SIM cards, work phones, tablets. This effective population of devices grows way faster than the official number of people.
And this, right here, this is the aha moment. As soon as you plot the number of antennas against this new effective population of active users, the trend line completely flips. It becomes sublinear. The puzzle is solved. The infrastructure is efficient after all. It's just that it's serving a hyper-connected population of devices that grows superlinearly with the number of actual people.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together. We've seen how cities boost our connections and, at the same time, create these incredible efficiencies.
Why is this hidden math so important to understand?
Well, the biggest takeaway is this. This so-called magic of cities isn't really magic at all. It's predictable math. Through superlinear growth, cities are these giant social amplifiers, cranking up human interaction, which is the fuel for innovation and creating wealth. And at the exact same time, through sublinear growth, they become these incredibly efficient machines. And what's truly mind-blowing is that these laws held true across Brazil, a country with vast inequality, which suggests these might just be fundamental rules of how cities work, everywhere.
And don't just take my word for it. As the researchers themselves put it, their work really helps us understand how all these forces, scaling, infrastructure, human connection, all weave together, especially in the fastest-growing parts of the world.
Now, this entire explainer is based on the amazing work in the paper validating urban scaling laws through mobile phone data analysis of Brazil's largest cities. It was published in the journal Computational Urban Science. You're curious and you really want to geek out on the data and the methods, I cannot recommend checking out the original source highly enough.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. For all of human history, the city has been the ultimate machine for amplifying face-to-face physical connection. So what happens to that machine and to all the innovation and wealth it creates when our most important connections, both social and professional, are no longer happening on the street, but through a screen?